Welcome back, students, to another part of our discussion on the lesson of sources of energy. In the previous two sessions, we had discussed a bit about the conventional sources of energy, in which we had talked in detail about coal, petroleum, and natural gas. We had seen that most commonly these forms of energy are being utilized by a major section of people. Today, we will discuss about one more important form of energy that is being widely used, particularly for the generation of electricity around the globe, and that is nuclear energy. Energy obtained during specific nuclear processes like nuclear fission and nuclear fusion due to conversion of a small fraction of mass into energy is called nuclear energy. Now, to understand nuclear energy, let us first learn about mass energy equivalence and nuclear fission process. Mass energy equivalence. On the basis of his theory of relativity, Albert Einstein derived the famous mass energy equivalence relation. According to this relation, if in a given process mass delta m is lost, then this loss of mass reappears as energy E, whose value is given by delta m c square, where c is the speed of light in vacuum, having a value of 3 lakh km per second. From this equation, it is found that if one atomic mass unit of mass is transformed into energy, then an energy of 931 mega electron volt is released. 1 mega electron volt is equal to 10 to the power 6 electron volts. An electron volt is the unit of energy in nuclear science, where it is equal to 1.602 into 10 to the power minus 19 joules. Let's study up nuclear fission. From the picture itself, it might be pretty much clear to you that nuclear fission is a process of disintegration of nuclei. Now, obviously, this disintegration will require some amount of energy that is obtained from the thermal neutron. Now, if suppose the neutron is traveling at an extremely high speed, then what will happen? Once it hits the nucleus of the uranium, these neutrons pass through the uranium nucleus without causing it to split. But if it is a thermal neutron, that is, it is moving at a moderate speed, then what happens? That neutrons get absorbed by the nucleus, becoming an unstable uranium 236 nucleus, which then splits into two smaller nuclei and three fast neutrons. That's what is exactly shown in this picture. You can see there is a neutron hitting the nucleus of uranium having atomic number 92 and mass number 235. This neutron gets absorbed and it changes into the unstable uranium 236 nucleus, which splits up into barium having atomic number 56, mass number 144, krypton having atomic number 36, mass number 89, and 3 neutrons. So, what basically is nuclear fission? Nuclear fission is the process of spontaneous splitting up of the nucleus of a heavy atom such as uranium 235, plutonium 239 or thorium 233 into two lighter nuclei, along with the release of a large amount of energy of about 200 mega electron volt when bombarded with low energy neutrons. In the nuclear fission process, the combined mass of lighter nuclei formed is slightly less than the mass of nucleus of the heavy atom. It means that some mass has been lost in nuclear fission process and consequently tremendous amount of energy is produced in accordance with mass energy equivalence. Actually, it is found that fission of one nucleus of uranium 235 atom produces 10 million times the energy produced by the combustion of an atom of carbon from coal. The energy produced in nuclear fission process is called nuclear energy. Here I would like to tell you that energy produced by the fission of 1 kilogram of uranium 235 is equal to the energy released by the burning of 2500 tons of coal. Nuclear chain reaction. When a nucleus of uranium 235 undergoes a nuclear fission after being bombarded by a low energy neutron, 3 neutrons are produced. These produced neutrons may trigger fission in 3 nuclei and in turn may produce still more neutrons and so on. In this way, a self-sustained nuclear chain reaction can be set up. This is exactly the situation that is being shown through this picture. As you can see that from one uranium nuclei beginning with 1, you get 3 neutrons in the first step and gradually it goes on multiplying. So within a very short span of time you find that an extremely huge amount of energy gets collected. So it becomes very important for the chain reaction to be carried out in a controlled way, but it could also go in an uncontrolled way. So the chain reaction can basically be of two types. It could be an uncontrolled chain reaction or a controlled chain reaction. If the nuclear chain reaction is not controlled, then rate of fission of uranium nuclei increases at a very fast rate, and within a microsecond or so, whole quantity of uranium fuel will fission out. The large amount of energy produced as heat in such a short time will be uncontrollable and will lead only to large scale devastation. A nuclear bomb, also known as an atom bomb, works on this very principle. On the other hand, if the nuclear chain reaction is controlled in such a way that out of 3 neutrons produced as a result of fission of one uranium nucleus, only 1 neutron is allowed to cause further fission and remaining 2 neutrons are either absorbed or removed from the assembly, then the fission reaction continues at a controlled rate. This is known as the controlled chain reaction and it leads to generation of nuclear energy at a uniform rate. A controlled chain reaction of nuclear fission is achieved in a nuclear reactor. So this is how an uncontrolled chain reaction actually proceeds. As you can see that within a very short span of time, a tremendous amount of energy gets accumulated in the site, due to which huge destruction may take place. So that's why it becomes extremely important that in the reaction site, in the site of nuclear fission, as soon as 3 neutrons are liberated, 2 are removed, because 1 neutron is good enough to carry out the fission process. So 2 neutrons need to be taken away. This is exactly what is being done in nuclear reactors, so that the fission continues to take place in a controlled way and controllable amount of energy gets released, which can be put to some specific use. Now you should also understand how fission takes place inside a uranium nucleus. Actually, for this we take help of a liquid drop model, about which in detail you would be studying in your senior classes, but just for introducing this topic I would like to tell you that we can consider the uranium nucleus to be similar to that of a liquid drop. As soon as some energy is received by the nucleus, it starts vibrating. These vibrations ultimately disintegrate the nucleus into 2 or more nuclei of comparable masses, along with the release of fast neutrons, free neutrons, and tremendous amount of energy, which is termed as the nuclear energy. This is the basic setup of a nuclear reactor. Nuclear energy released in controlled nuclear fission process of uranium-235, which is known as the nuclear fuel, is utilized to generate electricity, which can then be conveniently used in our houses, establishments, and for industrial use. For this purpose, special electric power generating nuclear reactors are designed. In a nuclear power plant, nuclear fuel, which is generally uranium 235, undergoes a self sustaining fission chain reaction at a controlled rate in a nuclear reactor. The tremendous amount of heat energy produced due to fission process taking place in nuclear reactor is quickly removed and used to convert water into superheated steam. The steam so produced is utilized to run the turbine of electric generator and thus generate electricity. At present, only 3% of total energy requirement of India is obtained from nuclear power plants. Some prominent nuclear power reactors in India are located at Tarapur in Maharashtra, Rana Pratap Sagar in Kota, Rajasthan, Kalpakkam in Tamil Nadu, Narora in Uttar Pradesh, Kakrapar in Gujarat, Kaiga in Karnataka, and Kudankulam in Tamil Nadu. Many industrialized countries are meeting more than 30% of their nuclear power needs from nuclear reactors. Coming to the next process for obtaining nuclear energy, that is nuclear fusion. Actually, nuclear fusion is just the opposite of fission. If fission is a disintegration process, and in fusion, two lighter nuclei combine to form a comparably nucleus of greater mass. Nuclear fusion is the process in which two or more lighter nuclei, most commonly hydrogen or hydrogen isotopes, join together to make a single heavier nucleus along with the release of a large amount of energy. As you can see in this picture, how nuclear fusion is taking place. A simple example is that of hydrogen, where two hydrogen isotopes can combine to give rise to helium, a neutron, and huge amount of energy. In the fusion reaction, mass of the product is little less than the sum of the masses of the original individual nuclei. This loss in mass is transformed into energy in accordance with Einstein's mass energy equivalence relation. Consequently, an enormous amount of energy is released. For fusion process to take place, the initial temperature and pressure of lighter nuclei must be extremely high. The temperature should be million of degrees Celsius and pressure should be millions of pascals. Due to this reason, fusion reaction is also known as the thermonuclear reaction. Such nuclear reactions are continuously taking place inside the central core of the Sun and other stars. In fact, nuclear fusion reactions are the sources of energy in the Sun and other stars. In a nuclear fusion process, no radioactive waste is produced as the end product is the helium, which is an inert gas. A sustained and controllable use of fusion power to produce electricity has not been achieved so far on the earth because extreme high temperature and pressure conditions cannot be sustained. However, research work is going on throughout the world, including India, to develop new technologies and better materials so that controlled and sustained nuclear fusion may be possible. It is hoped that by the middle of present century, some breakthrough may be made towards harnessing of energy from controlled thermonuclear fusion reaction. Energy from fusion reactor is regarded by many to be the future energy source for mankind. Main advantages of nuclear energy may be that a nuclear power reactor can produce a large amount of useful energy from a very small amount of nuclear fuel. The conversion efficiency of a nuclear power reactor is comparatively high. If a nuclear reactor is loaded with nuclear fuel, the nuclear power plant can continue producing electricity for few years. There is no need for putting in nuclear fuel again and again as we have to do in a coal or gas based thermal power plant. There is no emission of gases like carbon dioxide or sulfur dioxide which cause greenhouse effect and acid rain. But there are several disadvantages too. The main hazard of nuclear power generation is the storage and disposal of spent or used fuel. The waste products of nuclear reactor are known as spent fuel and it is highly radioactive and may continue to emit harmful radioactive radiations for a long period. Thus, it is extremely necessary to store and dispose nuclear waste safely and it is very difficult and risky. Improper nuclear waste storage and disposal may lead to widespread environmental contamination. There is a risk of accidental leakage of nuclear radiation from a nuclear reactor. Such accidental leakage from a reactor may cause serious damage to mankind as well as plant kingdom over a large area around the nuclear reactor. The initial installation cost of a nuclear power plant is very high and availability of fissionable uranium 235 is limited. In short, we may say that the high cost of installation of a nuclear power plant, high risk of environmental contamination, and limited availability of uranium make large scale use of nuclear energy extremely prohibitive.